Hi friends, today's lesson is for Module 3, Lesson 10. Our learning goal for today says, I can use the distributive property when I multiply and divide. Ooh, distributive property, what does that mean again? Oh yeah, that I can break things up into smaller chunks to help me solve a problem. You know, we're getting into some pretty big numbers when we multiply and divide. So the distributive property can really help us to be a little bit more efficient or faster when we're solving for those big numbers. Let me show you. Like for example, if I have 6 times 8, look at this gigantic array that I just had to make. Oh my goodness. I have 6 going down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8 going across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is too big for me. So I'm going to use a distributive property. Hi-ya! I'm going to break it up. Okay, well, you don't really necessarily have to karate chop it, but you could just draw a line. Okay, you could do that. All right, I like to make the sound. Okay, so look, I just broke it up by drawing a line. Now, what do you notice, friend? Yeah, instead of having 8, I have 2 smaller pieces, right? Like this is a chunk of a piece. Like I still have 6 going down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But friends, how many do I have just in this chunk? Yes, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now instead of having to do 6 times 8, what's my new number sentence for just that chunk? Perfect. 6 times 5. Now I'm not done because I made 2 pieces when I did my karate chop. Like look at this part over here. How many is going down? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm still multiplying by 6. But then how many across, friends? Perfect. 3. 1, 2, 3. So this chunk was 6 times 5. And then what's the other chunk now? Good. 6 times 3. Now because I had 8 and I broke it up, I have to add those together after I solve them. So now it's just a matter of figuring out the different pieces, the different amounts or totals for the chunks that I made. So friend, what's 6 times 5? Yeah, you can count by 5s if you need to 6 times, but you might know it so fast. 30. Good. And I'm going to add that to what's 6 times 3. Let's count by 6s. 6, 12. Good. 18. Now what do? Am I done? No, I have 30 plus 18. I need to figure out what that answer is. So friends, what's 30 plus 18? Ah, you're good with adding. 48. So look at my answer. 6 times 8 is equal to 48. I know that because I have this gigantic array, but I use the distributive property to hi-ya, break it up into smaller chunks. Can I make a recommendation, friends? The great thing about multiplying by 8 is that there's always a 5 hidden in there somewhere as one of the parts. I recommend looking for that 5 because it's going to help you. All right, and then we multiplied each of the chunks, and then we got the answer, and then now all together, it's 48. Let's try another one, shall we? All right, I want you to go ahead and pause the video. I want you to grab a dry erase board and a marker, and then come right back when you're ready, press play. Okay, you ready, friends? All right, this is the number sentence I want you to write. 7 times 8. Okay, write that on your board. Now, friends, do not draw the array. It's too big. I will do it for us. Oh, I told you it's too big. Don't draw that on your board. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, now we're cooking. So we have an array that's 7 times 8. Now the distributive property is going to help us to solve this problem. What is that again? Ah, yes. We have to break it up into smaller pieces. Hiya! I had to do it. I could not stop myself. Okay, this time I'm going to break it up a little bit differently. I'm going to do my line right there. We're going to look at the different parts and we're going to write a new number sentence. Now what I want you to do is I want you to be writing the number sentence. So let's do a number sentence just for this first chunk right there. We have 7 going down still, but how many do we have going across? Good, 3. All right, over here, I want you to do 7 times what, friend? Go ahead and write it. Good, 7 times 3. That's going to be that first chunk that we made. Friend, what about this other part? What did I do there? What would that, how many are going across now? Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 on this side. Remember I said look for that 5. Okay, we made a number sentence for this chunk, or this part, and we need to make a number sentence for this part. What would that be? Can you write it over here, friends? Good. It's still going to be 7 times something. What's going to be? Good. Did you write 7 times 5? Excellent, because that's going to be this mini array that we made when we broke it up. Good. Now, what are we going to do with 7 times 3 and 7 times 5? Just write that? No, can't break it. We got to add those together, because if we break it apart, we can't leave something broken. Our parents would be upset by that. We have to put it back together. All right, so let's see. So now that we have 7 times 3 plus 7 plus 5, we need to go ahead and solve for those little number sentences. So what's 7 times 3, friends? Ooh, you know your 3 facts. Yeah, 21. And we're going to add that to 7 times 5. What's 7 times 5? Perfecto, 35. Okay, so now the answer is going to be 21 plus 35. What is that, friends? Okay, go ahead and write it on your board. Did you get 56? Oh, excellent job. That means 7 times 8 is equal to 56. Totally rocked it, friends. Go ahead and erase your board. You can set your marker down because I'm going to show you how we can use the distributive property with division now, which is really wild. All right, so once your board's erased, go ahead and put your marker down. I want you just to watch for a second. Okay, so we did the distributive property with multiplication. Now watch with division. So here's my number sentence. 64 divided by 8. That seems wild. So I'm going to think. Let's see. 64 divided by 8. Oh, yeah. I can break that up into parts the same way I do with multiplication. But I'm going to do it now showing you with like a number bond, okay? So like I'm going to make a number bond, and I'm going to have 2 parts. So 64 divided by 8. I'm going to break it up into a number bond with the different parts, but with a new, smaller division number sentence. Remember, using the arrays, we made smaller multiplication sentences. This time we're going to make smaller division sentences. So I'm going to look at this whole amount of 64. What can I take out using 8? So let's count by 8s, friends. Count with me. 8, 16, 24, 32, 40. Oh, I like 40 because I know what that answer is going to be. So I'm going to go ahead in this part over here. I'm going to write a smaller division sentence. I'm going to say 40 divided by 8. And I'm going to take that 40 right out of that 64. Now, if I have 64 and I take out 40, how many do I have left, friends? 64 minus 40. Let's see, 64. It's going to be 60, 50, 40, 30, 20. Ha, 24. 24 divided by 8. Thank you. Okay, so instead of doing 64 divided by 8, I'm going to make it smaller. I'm going to do 40 divided by 8 and 24 divided by 8. And that's going to get me my answer. If I wrote it out, it would be like this. 64 divided by 8 is equal, whoopsie, there we go, is equal 40 divided by 8 plus 24 divided by 8. Because you see, friends, if I have one of the parts is 40 divided by 8 and another part that's 24 divided by 8, I have to add those together to get the whole amount, right? Okay, so that's what my number sentence looks like. So now I just have to figure out the different parts. So what's 40 divided by 8? I want to count by 8s. 8, 16, 24, 32, 40. I figured out 40 divided by 8 is 5. And I'm going to add that to 24 divided by 8. Friends, what's 24 divided by 8? Yeah, count by 8s. 8, 16, 24. What is that number, friends? Good, 3. Now I just need to add those parts together, just like I did with our array for multiplication. What's 5 plus 3, friends? Ding, 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 ding. Yes, it's 8. So 64 divided by 8 must be equal to 8. All right, when you use the distributive property, you're just trying to break things up into smaller parts to help you to come up with the whole amount that you're looking for. So I want you to go ahead and grab your marker. You're going to go ahead and try the next one with division with me. Okay, so I want you to go ahead and write 72 divided by 8. And then you can go ahead and draw a number bond because we're going to break it up into parts. Press pause while I do it. Press play when you're ready, friends. Okay, do you have your number bond all set up? If you don't, just press pause. I'll wait for you. But if you're ready, here we go. All right, remember I said we're going to try to figure out things that we can pull out of that 72 to make it a smaller problem. I'm going to go ahead and give you the first part. We're going to do 40 divided by 8. Because that's something that's pretty, anytime you can take a 10 out of something, it's helpful. All right, 40 divided by 8. Go ahead and draw that in one of the parts. All right, it's up to you, friends. What's the other part then? If we have 70 and we took out 40, what part do we have left? Press pause while you figure it out. Press play when you're ready. Yeah, 70, 60, 50, 40, 30. We have 32 now. 32 divided by 8. Is that what you got? Oh, very nice. We're going to go ahead and write 72 divided by 8. Go ahead and write that on your board. Now it's equal to what, friends? Go ahead and write what you think it's equal to. Remember, we're looking at those two parts. Press pause while you write it. Press play to check yourself. Okay, you ready? So you should have written down the two division sentences that we made. We had 72 divided by 8. We changed that to 40 divided by 8 plus, remember we have to add those parts together, 32 divided by 8. Is that what you got? If you did, awesome. If not, it's okay. Press pause, erase it, and fix it. Press play when you're ready. Okay, now we just have to use the chunks that we made or the parts that we made with our distributive property and find out those answers and then add the answers together. So friends, go ahead and write on your board. What's 40 divided by 8? Write it. Okay, now we're going to add that to 32 divided by 8. What's 32 divided by 8? Write it. Good, you should have gotten 5. 40 divided by 8 is 5 plus, what's 32 divided by 8, friends? Yeah, 4. What's 5 plus 4? Ding, 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 ding. It is 9. See, 72 divided by 8 is 9. We figured it out because we made one part that was 40 divided by 8, which is 5. We made another part, 32 divided by 8, which is 4. We just had to add those parts together. See, you did fantastic, friends. Go ahead and erase your board. I'm pretty impressed because our learning goal for today said I can use the distributive property when I multiply and divide. And that's exactly what we did today. And friend, you did amazing, can I just say? Remember, the distributive property means you're just going to take something big and you're going to break it up into smaller chunks to help you out. All right, give yourself a break. Get it? All right, so good luck for today, friends. You're going to go ahead and do your problem set where you're practicing using the distributive property to multiply and divide. Good luck, friends.